All right, shalom, 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 y'all. It's Michael Israel. You watching Spiritual Combat? Uh, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm just getting all my information together. That's all. Um, the power of good health. That's the title of today's show. Um, and what's funny, uh, I was like, hey, I had to do a show. I was putting all this together, and about a minute or so before I was getting ready to go live, um, Brother Gideon sent me a news article on what I was getting ready to do the show on, because he's seeing the same stuff I'm seeing. Um, Y'all, if y'all are not seeing it, you'll begin to see it soon, and we're gonna put some stuff into perspective. But you know, I'm gonna really go in on this today. You hear me talk about it, the power of good health. We're talking about spiritual health. We're talking about physical health. It's imperative. Diet. We're gonna hit on some stuff. And you know the way I do, I'm gonna make some points here, and ain't gonna be no wiggle room around them. I mean, it's just gonna be solid, and I'm gonna book it. I'm gonna book it. I'm gonna back it up with book, man. We're gonna keep it 100. There's a lot of stuff I'm gonna have to point out here, but it's gonna make sense. Appreciate y'all. Brother Mike, y'all have. Do we have any elderberry? Yes, Koya has a bunch of elderberry. I'm gonna see if I could get her in here. I don't know if she, but yeah, she had. Koya, yeah, come here for a sec. All right, she's coming. All right, so somebody was asking, do you have elderberry? I know what's the status on all that.
Elderberry will be uploaded on our website this afternoon.
Okay, so she'll have it on the website. What? Let's
Yes.
see. Hold on.
Householdherbs.com.
Hold on. Just send me. Do this. Send me the website in Messenger, and I'll bring it up here on the screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. I just have to. My labels will be here today, and that was the holdup. But yes.
Okay. She was waiting on labels because all that stuff had sold out and all that stuff like that. But we're gonna hit on all that because yeah, you could buy Koya's products. Hey, that's cool. But we ain't trying to sell you products. We trying to sell you some education, because when I get done with this, it's gonna blow you away. I am adamant. I literally think there are people dying, and the stuff to save them is right there in their house. Okay, so look at this article. It says Louisiana's COVID-19 deaths were 70% black residents. Um, I I had uploaded yesterday, but it wasn't in my news. It wasn't in my little thing that I sent it to. Same thing up in Chicago. I want to say up in Chicago it was 80%, okay, of the deaths were us. Okay? Let's move forward. I told you on the show the other day, I was talking to my mother, and she focuses on health too, and she was just saying how, because she's been staying up on this stuff, she was saying it looked, from her, what she's been looking at, the disease attacks the lungs. We know this, but she made a good analogy, just saying how it embeds itself deep in them lungs, like it go hard after your lungs. Okay, we're gonna hit on all that. Okay, we're gonna hit on all that. We're gonna go into that a little more. What we do over here, the way we operate here in the Michael Israel household, the way me and Coy operate, we got something going on with us. We ain't feeling right. like when the COVID-19 thing came up, we listening to what the news saying, and we're looking at our herbs that, okay, like what she puts in her elderberry strengthens the immune system, and it strengthens the other herb she has in there strengthens the lungs. It directly goes to the lungs, But y'all just bear with me. We're gonna get in. I'm gonna really open your eyes up to a lot of stuff, because this thing isn't as complicated as it gets made a lot of times. Okay? So let me do this. All right? Let me see if I can pull up what Brother Gideon just sent me. Did it? Yep, there it is. Okay. So it's on ABC's news also. Originally this popped up on the grill early, and then the mainstream media has got wind. So I'm gonna pull this up. Y'all bear with me, and we're gonna run this. Hopefully they don't flag me too hard, but here we go.
Some states are reporting disproportionately large numbers.
Let me turn it up so y'all can hear. Okay.
Some states are reporting disproportionately large numbers of African American deaths. So Steve Osinsami, he leads us off with more on this disturbing trend that even the White House is now weighing in on.
From the moment the coronavirus outbreak began, health officials have preached that COVID-19 doesn't discriminate, that it's an equal opportunity killer. But new reports strongly suggest that race still matters. Look at Louisiana. Of the more than 500 people whose final breaths were stolen by this disease, the state says that more than 2/3 of them were black.
Disturbingly, this information is going to show you that slightly more than 70% of all the deaths in Louisiana are of African Americans. And so that deserves more attention, and we're going to have to dig into that and see what we can do to slow that trend down.
In Chicago, the numbers fall the same. Most of the people...
All right, look. Well, I'll let it play. I'll let it play a little more.
Who've gotten sick or died are people of color. Nearly 70% of all COVID-19 deaths in the city are African American. The city says that's nearly 6 times more fatal than what's being seen by their white neighbors.
Those numbers take your breath away. They really do.
Okay, look, I don't need to go. Hey, look, I'm fixing to come straight down the middle. Okay, let's book it. Can I book what I'm saying? Yes, I can. I could book all this, and I am. I already got some of the scriptures pulled up. Let's start with this one here. Judgment starts with the house of Israel. Now he's smacking them in their economy, okay? But let's just keep it 1,000. Our people are very unhealthy. We have unhealthy diets. What this society causes you to do, the foods that what we're fed out here is not, it causes you to overeat, but you're still starving. Okay, what I do when this is literally what I do when I'm in the grocery store. Sometimes I go in there and I'm looking at people's shopping carts, and I look at, like, if I see, I'm just keeping 1,000 with y'all. When I see an obese person, I look at what they got in their shopping cart, okay? And not majority of the time, not 90% of the time, 100% of the time, they always got a grocery cart loaded with a bunch of sugar-based stuff that they unknowingly have. They'll have orange juice in there, apple juice, different types of juices, okay? And they'll have bread, grain, carb-laden type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know that stuff's bad now. Like, that basically that whole bread aisle is wicked as hell. That's like, you might as well just pour table sugar in your mouth if you eat the bread they have out today. I'm not saying don't eat bread. I'm not saying don't eat it, okay? What I'm saying is that, I'm not saying don't eat bread. I'm just saying eat it in moderation, okay? People are like, oh, eggs, meat, this, that, and the other. Yeah, to a certain extent, but if you want to quickly destroy yourself, it's that's going to pack the weight on. It's going to put a big load on your body, and you're going to be in the high risk group. Okay. If you got questions, put them in there. But I'm gonna just shoot straight with it. Okay. The mucus in your body, the purpose of the mucus is when you have an infection, it encapsulates it. It traps whatever, the foreign material is. And I'm going to just kind of blanket hit on everything. Go research it yourself. There's no excuse to be uneducated out here now, because literally it's in the palm of your hands. You got all the medical information in the world, all the information about this body right there in the palm of your hands with a, with your cell phone or whatever. Okay. But I'm going to just hit on some heavy stuff that's going to really ring a bell with y'all. Okay. But it's not so much as there's mucus. Like, for instance, down here in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay. Pollen is berserk. You'll be feeling great, wake up, go outside, do some work, and the next thing you know, you feel like crap, and all this mucus is going because you done breathed in all this pollen. And the mucus will encapsulate it. But what you need to do is provide a means to break the mucus up so you could bring it up and bring it out of you. Expel it out of you. That's why we talk about, like, for instance, what I'm drinking here right now, this is actually green. I got a green screen up. That's why you really can't tell. But it's a real bright green. But what it is watercress, kale, lemon, grapefruit. What else? There's some other stuff in there too. Anyway, that's what's in there. What's that stuff called? Corey, what's that stuff called that pulls? Cilantro. Cilantro's in there too. That's what it is. Anyway, that's what's in there. Okay. Stuff like that is gonna break up. It's gonna detoxify your body. If you eat the typical American, European, African American diet of a lot of bread, pasta, potatoes, more bread, juice, these juices, I don't care if it's apple juice, whatever these juices are. Any juice I drink is like squeezed right there on the spot from the fruit. All that stuff is the same thing. The bread, the pasta, if you're eating donuts, cookies, the juices, I'm just trying to go through my mind. All that stuff literally turns into the exact same stuff, which is glucose sugar, and it goes straight to the weight on your body. The way I eat is we eat, like, the way my plate typically looks is 70 to 80% fruit, vegetables, and then, let me put the proportions better, make it be more honest and accurate. All right, I say 50% of what's on my plate is is vegetables and stuff like that, plant-based, okay? And then 30 to 20% meat, and then maybe the last 10% is some type of bread thing. And I will eat fruit and vegetables till I can't eat no more, okay? But your body just, it pulls it right off. It fixes your body. It filters. It cleans your body, all right? If you eat, I'm telling you, you are poisoning yourself. It's poison if you're eating the other way around. If you're eating all these glucose, what do they call them? Manufactured stuff, processed stuff. They say if you want, the best way to shop is to shop around the outside of the store, the perimeter, all the refrigerated areas. You'll live if you shop that way. If all your food's coming from them aisles, you're gonna kill yourself. Outside of the beans, the canned bean stuff, for the most part, you're gonna kill yourself. And I'm just trying to explain this to you in a simple way, that so you're not overwhelmed when you go to the store. Oh, just stay at the outside of the store. The produce, the meat, and the dairy stuff. I know people are saying the dairy, the devil, you know, but dude, we're an agricultural people. We done ate that way our whole lives. The way we never ate is all that stuff that's down them aisles. That's what's initially, that's the first step. That's what's killing you. Okay, we just talked about diet a little bit, but I'm going to tell you what the elephant in the room is. Now we're going to keep it 100. And I'm just making this real simple so that you don't have a whole bunch of stuff to memorize. Okay, there's a whole bunch of technical stuff you could go into with this stuff. The most important thing on a physical level with your health, even over diet, okay, the most important thing that goes over everything is activity, movement, okay? And I look at our people and I don't give a damn. And especially the women, they're overweight and they're at risk. They're at risk of dying from a damn allergy or a common cold, let alone something heavy like this hit, okay? Our women particularly are way overweight, and a lot of it, believe it or not, let's keep it 1,000, ties into their hair. And you're like, what the hell are you talking about, Mike? A lot of our women can't sweat because of their hair. Because they're trying to look like these other nations. They don't want to waste their money, so they don't want to sweat because of their hair, because it'll mess their hair up. I know. Y'all go look that up. The women are brutally out of shape, okay? Men too, and we're not thinking about health. You know, you got to get out there. You got to get sun on you. You got to sweat. Sweating removes so much toxins from your body. It's I want to say one of the main ways, it's definitely one of the main ways toxins are removed out of your body. Sweating and moving around and doing stuff and being in the sun is like what you need, especially as a black person. It's like, dude, it's therapeutic. You're getting toxins out, you're bringing vitamin D in, whatever, and it's the last thing our people want to do. They don't want to sweat. They don't want to be in the sun. And then you tell them, well, you need to eat these vegetables. Well, that don't taste good. Okay. Let me hit you with some book. Let's hit you with some book. We're going to start getting into some book. Here it is, Luke 21:34. It says, and take heed to yourself, lest any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. Okay, what's surfeiting? Overeating. Let's precept it. Let's back it up with another similar scripture. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus This is Proverbs on steroids. It says, for excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn into cholera. All right, let's see what that is, because I just, you know the way I like to define stuff. Cholera, a medieval science and medicine, one of the 4 bodily humors identified with bile and believed to be associated with a pervish. All right, that's not a good. Let's see if we can. Anger, wrath, irritability. Okay. So cholera, anger, irritability, one of the 4 humors. So a bad temperament thought to cause anger and bad temperament. Is that come on, y'all, put a 100 up in there if you are you beginning to make the connections on what I'm talking about. Because man, I know y'all don't want me to really go in, but it says for excess of meats. And the way I want to say, now I'm just kind of say this. All right. Hey, y'all on Facebook, let me know if it's hanging up or if you could still hear me. Okay. Let me know if it's hanging up on Facebook. Looks like it is. Put an 8 if it's great over there on Facebook. Do it over there on YouTube because it's telling me it's hanging up. Well, you know they don't want this to get out. They try and take, but hey, I'm that dude. Great. Okay, so it's good. Okay. Do you see what I'm talking about? This book, everybody going in all this deep stuff in the book. Let's keep it basic. We have to eat healthy. Now, Koya studied, me and Koya, we study foods. We study just typical meals because with us, we noticed that we weren't feeling good. And hey, look, so check this out. So y'all don't think I'm playing around. I used to play basketball 5 to 6 times a week. Okay? All the way up until maybe 3 or 4 years ago or whatever. And I used to play on a high level. I used to play with people who played Division I basketball, and they played a couple NBA players that come out and play with us. High level competitive basketball. Now it was pickup balls, just the gym I played at was like a high-end gym. Anyway, it was intense. And we used to just eat the way we would eat, whatever. And guess what? Playing basketball 5 times a week. And I know I was still gaining weight. I had belly fat that wouldn't get off. Guess what? Eventually I came into the truth. The basketball was consuming too much of my time. And I changed my diet up. I eliminated the processed food, like anything with carbs and a bunch of sugars in it. You know, and even to this day, we still eat it, but very sparingly. We'll eat pancakes. We'll eat waffles. We'll eat certain chips from time to time. Sometimes we're eating bread this week, but normally we don't have bread in our house at all. But this week, we're enjoying unleavened bread. Okay? Typically, we don't eat it because I could go all into it, but the flour that they've bred today turns into straight sugar. It's not like the ancient wheat that we used to eat as a people back in the day. All right. Anyway, all that to say this, when I changed my diet over to a more, what's it called? Keto. I would say the diet that we eat in this house is ketogenic / paleo. It's a lot of living food. A lot of food it hasn't been touched or processed too much. The minimum amount of processing, we try to eat those types of food. All that to say this, I stopped playing basketball 5 times a week. I greatly pulled back my daily activity to just what I typically do. I'm an aircraft mechanic, so I do a lot of walking, okay? And a little bit of climbing might raise my heart rate a little bit, but don't you know, when I transferred over to that diet, I began losing weight. The weight came off. Yeah. So a lot of it's diet, but on the same note, I see a lot of people, man, that they don't do nothing. So somebody asked, what do we eat for breakfast? All right. What I went to the store, bought a bunch of kale. So what we'll have for breakfast is eggs, kale. I'll make a blend up watercress and what's this other stuff? Cilantro with lemon. Throw it in for a drink, and that's what we'll have. Kale, eggs, and it's just a heavily vegetable-based organic. And typically no bread with it. Sometimes if I'm wanting bread, it'll be a wrap, the roll thing, and we'll throw it in there. And it's good. And I throw butter. Sometimes I'll put a ton of butter on, But that's what we'll have. And if you switch to that, the weight will naturally melt off. Anybody you see running around that's morbidly obese eats a lot of carbs, period. When I say carbs, I'm talking about sugars, period. You can no, period. There is no way around it. Your drink, I don't care who you are. If you're overweight and you can't get it off, it's because you're drinking a lot of sugary juices. You're eating a lot of bread and pasta and stuff like that. And like donuts and just that stuff. Period. It's like 1 + 1 = 2. If you're overweight, that's what you're eating, period. And I don't care how much running and activity you do, it won't come off unless because there's no way you could catch up with the amount of fat that's putting on you, that those types of foods put on you. You'd have to run Ironmans every week to get that off you, okay? But if you switch up to a more paleo ketogenic type diet where you're eating more fats and fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, you'll watch it melt off. And you don't have to eat the vegetables and stuff in small portions. Eat that till you feel full. I mean, you can eat a ton of it, and it's going to just melt right off and clean you out while it's bringing the weight off you, period. All right, so yeah, it looks like y'all understand. I have to retype it. I have to watch my carbs because I am a diabetic. If you're a type 2 diabetic, it's only because you're eating too much of the carbs. If you go to if you switch over to a ketogenic paleo type diet, that stuff will go away, period. But you drink too much juice and you're eating too much pasta, bread, that shit that's down the aisles, the shit on the shelf. Go to the cooling aisles, all right? And it's not complicated. Koya made something last night. Hey, Koya, come here. Come here, Coy. I'm going to tell you, because we didn't know what, we didn't have any, I didn't know what to make. Hey, tell them what you made last night.
Okay, yeah, so we're...
Speak up so they can hear you.
So we're staying away from pasta because some pastas are enriched with leavening.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just use quinoa. It's very, it's alkaline. And so I made a soup. and it was just a seasoning blend of carrots, onions, celery, and garlic, and then tomatoes, diced tomatoes, with some sweet potatoes, and then I also added some turmeric, some chickpeas, very alkaline, and then some kidney beans.
All right.
That's it. And a lot of herbal seasonings like oregano, thyme, things that are antiviral.
And then what's that other stuff you put in there at the end that's similar to pasta but it's healthier? Quinoa. All right. So stuff like that. But it comes with, you get education. At some point, I'm gonna bring her on there and she could talk about a lot of ingredients. Like, so you could substitute your pastas with quinoa. Okay. We had some carbs in there. Potatoes. Sweet potatoes. But yeah, I'm gonna have her come on here. I got, we are real busy right now, but she gonna come on the show and put a bunch of recipes. She's gonna put a bunch of foods up here that you could substitute everything for. We don't eat rice. We don't eat mashed potatoes. We eat cauliflower rice and cauliflower mashed potatoes. Macaroni and cheese, we don't eat macaroni and cheese. Macaroni is just more bread, it's more pasta, it's sugar, pure sugar. We eat cauliflower macaroni and cheese. You got to be educate. You got to educate yourself. All right? And look, I done ate cauliflower mac before till I sit there, I eat the cauliflower mac and I'm like, ooh, I'm full, man. And I don't know the difference. And it's all water and whatever that stuff is called. What's the stuff called? Film. It begins with an F. I think it begins with an F. Fiber. It's all water and fiber and nutritional. So your body can just digest that cauliflower mac like that. Yeah, it got some cheese in it, but hey, I'm not like torturing myself with my diet, but I am disciplining myself a little bit, okay? And it just goes off. And you don't have to fight with weight, okay? The other thing we do mono fast. We do intermittent fasting. A mono fast is sometimes my whole meal for a whole, my diet for a whole day or 2 days will be nothing but grapes to give my digestive system a break. You got to educate yourself. Look up the mono diet. If you eat the grapes, it lets your body repair itself. Brother Yaki was saying if you eat the berries, it repairs your nervous system or something to that extent. Study. Stop man, this place, it will kill your ass. Like, these folks got it out for Israel, okay? And judgment starts with the house of Israel, okay? And no weapon formed against you will prosper. He got most of them spiritually, because we getting ready to go into the spiritual aspect of it first. Spiritually, no weapon formed against you can prosper. But physically, no weapon can formed against you can prosper either. Like, because this thing, dude, go back. Look at the people dying. They just ain't eating right. I already know. Look, if I look at a person who's overweight, I know what they're eating. And you can't get around it. If you got type 2 diabetes, I know what you're doing. I know what you're eating. It's not, it just runs in my family. The only thing that runs in your family is the recipes and the diets that get handed down. Your mama was eating a bunch of pasta, bread, and sugary drinks. And now you eating a bunch of pasta, bread, and sugary drink. Even when I go to McDonald's, sometimes I run out there. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing that, though, with all this nastiness out there. But anyway, even if I go to McDonald's or a fast food place, I'll get, look, and this is bad, but look, I'll get a double cheeseburger and instead of French fries, chicken nuggets. And that ain't, I'm not saying that's what your health thing needs to be, but you could it's, I know how controversial what I'm saying is, because some dudes will be like, you telling us that? I'm not telling you to eat at McDonald's, I understand, but in as much as I can, if I go out there, I still got a ketogenic, and a paleo mindset in mind. So somebody asked, let me put it up here, ketogenic. And I don't necessarily believe in a ketogenic diet. I just have a ketogenic, more or less, diet. Okay? So there you go. It's up on the screen. The ketogenic diet. And it's a more fat-based type diet where you're getting your fat, instead of from, and you can get your fat from avocado and all that and learn how to whip it up quick. All right, ketogenic. And ketogenic, and what's the other one? Paleo. And it's all it is, dude, in every way. All right, so this is the paleo diet, because I probably spelled it wrong at first. All right, the paleo diet. Our diet is more or less loosely based around these two diets, paleo, and we make sure we eat a lot of fat, and we try to make it healthy fat, because if you don't have fat in your diet, you're not gonna feed your nervous system, your brain, and all that. That's the main place, whatever. You just do your own research. Stop watching these retarded ass sitcoms they got on TV and all this stupid entertainment. It enters you to detain you from knowing that, and educate yourself in health. Educate yourself. There's stuff, Koya know how to make bread out of, she done made pancakes out of like coconut flour and stuff, like all types of stuff, We figure out how to make bread out of, you name it, But we've weaned ourselves off bread to where we don't eat bread that much. Y'all gotta wake up, man. That, like, it ain't just magic that this stuff is killing our people off. Like, if you and then on top of that, then we go into herbal medicine or whatever you want to call it. And let me hit you on this real quick. All right, I'm gonna hit you on something else, because when it says no weapon formed against you will prosper, let's talk about. Hold on. What's that stuff called? I keep forgetting. Now look at this. Let me show y'all something. Again, I'm not going deep into any of this. I'm just showing you something so that you get out of this fear-based, woe is me, conspiracy theory mindset. No weapon formed against us will prosper. Me and Koya and the children were just locked into it like they were watching some movie. What we watched yesterday, it was very encouraging. We watched the edible plants in Florida. And we're like, oh, we seen that. Oh, we seen this. And they telling you all this stuff these plants do. And we see the crap growing right around our house. We watched one, it was showing these edible plants up in Indiana. Powerful stuff growing right there in abundance all around you. It excited us because we done seen a lot of this stuff right around our house here. But people, they want you watching football games. They want you watching these retarded celebrities. They want you watching all this stupid stuff so that you can worship the beast system. Come out of her, my people. Return to the ancient ways. The Most High got the stuff right here around you. And you sitting up there like Miles Dyson in Terminator on a ventilator, dying because you didn't get the knowledge that's right there around you. We're going to go into the spiritual momentarily. All right? All right, so look at this. Look at this. Cilantro. Everybody, 5G, oh my God, it's doing this to your cells. It's doing that to your radiation poisoning. Oh my goodness. Dude, you could go to your grocery store and the Most High got the stuff in there to pull radiation out of your body. You think I'm playing? Here it is right here. Cilantro and clay bass. Cilantro will move heavy metals and radioactive material out of the cells into the detoxification pathways, along with a detox, help pull down those paths. So read about cilantro, read about coriander, coriander. It's all in here because they tell you. All I'm saying, I'm just showing you. I'm not doing an in-depth lesson and nothing like that. The Most High done put plants out here to pull radiation out of your body, to pull heavy metals. Like if you get chemotherapy, you get start. If you study up on cilantro and you know, I told the story where Koya made a I forget what that, some type of queso dip, and she had put some cilantro in it. She's like, you know why it made you feel so much better? What? And she was telling me about the cilantro. So I went and bought some cilantro, blended it up, and drank it. And my head was like bumping, and for the next day and a half, I was just on the couch like burned out. And what happened, the cilantro pulled heavy metals in my body, but because I wasn't consistently consuming the cilantro, it let go. It's like a magnet, but it loses power as it pulls, and it let go of it, and it let it go wherever it was at in my bloodstream or whatever. And then it just hit me and pulled me down. So you have to study up on all that, but it's all here. All right. So anyway, we gotta, it ain't as conspiracy theory as you think. Like anything that these wicked ass nations could throw at you, the Most High has made provisions herbally or just in regular diet, and a lot of people, like, your body's fearfully and wonderfully made, but if you're eating poison and then you're expecting a miracle, you're putting them to a stupid test. It's just like when Satan was tempting Jesus, he said, jump off the hill, see if his angels save you. Like, that's the mindset of a lot of our people. You're eating stuff that is proven is toxic to you. Everybody's showing you sugar evil as hell. The information is public. How unhealthy bread is. Y'all need to watch the documentary Fed Up. Instead of sitting on Netflix watching all these wicked ass, brainwashing ass movies, watch the documentary Fed Up. There's a bunch of them out now where they're showing you how bad this sugar is with heart disease, with type 2 diabetes, all this stuff, cancer, all this stuff. Watch it. And then y'all like, oh, well, Mike, is that conspiracy? No, I did it. There was 1 month I completely went 100% on the not on the paleo diet, on the ketogenic diet, to where I almost put my body into full ketosis. Okay, I went almost 100% ketogenic. Okay. And the weight in 1 month, the weight I never could get off. Even when I was playing basketball 5 to 6 times a week, the weight melted off and I wasn't doing nothing. Okay? So I'm not telling you, I'm not sitting here telling you anything that is provable, it's observable, and it's repeatable. This is the scientific method. I'm not talking about these clowns on here trying to sidetrack you, make you think, oh, they're secretly attacking you through the air. If you eat healthy, it ain't gonna do nothing to you. If you're active, you're gonna be fine. Yeah, I don't know, man. You know. So yeah, man. The truth is unpopular, though. I see it. I'm looking. Folks don't want to hear this. They love food. It said in these times they will be overcome by surfeiting. They're breathing like that. I ain't putting that in donuts. That fruit tastes nasty. Dang it. Okay. Okay. You've been warned. It's in the prophets to warn you, man. But our people are stubborn and stiff-necked. And I'm telling you, food is an idol. A lot of people ain't coming on Community because they worship food. They worship this wicked-ass food, you know. And you got to buffet your body. Like Paul said. Like, he was like, I'll whoop my flesh. Like, that's what I do. Like, shut your ass up, flesh. Y'all seen me on the show the other day. I said, yo, if y'all hear my stomach talking shit, it's because I ain't giving it nothing. I'm whooping his ass right now. That's what I'm doing. We ain't have no breakfast. I just drank a juice, you know. Sometimes I whoop my flesh's ass in the one meal a day. Or not. It's war. Come on, y'all. You see a lot of these other people, man, and you knowing this now, you just ain't got no discipline, you know? It's war, though. And the Most High, hey, look, judgment comes on the house of Israel first. A lot of people is all talk. They're all talk, no warfare, and they ain't gonna get and the Most High showing, hey, who all talk, you know? And it's a constant war, man. There's so much toxic stuff out here, man. It's war, man. It is. You know. That's, yeah. So, but I see y'all putting a lot of stuff in here. Oatmeal, flaxseed, red wine, this, that, the other. I'm telling you, the biggest thing that you got to cut out that I see in our diet when I watch our people is the breads. That's a big one, man. The bread. So let's move forward with this lesson into the biggest area. The area that's going to encourage you to embark on this path is going to be spiritual health. But let's go back to this verse. Did y'all see this? Let's go back to this verse here. It said, for excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting, which surfeiting is overeating, overindulging, will turn into cholera. Okay? Like I said, all right, I got to say one more thing. Fats trigger your sedentary response, your satiation nervous system response. So let me explain what I'm saying. If you eat, you ever see, and I don't know if you ever go to Texas or out west, if you go out west and stuff like that, you ever see they have these places, they're like, hey, if you eat this steak, and they give you this big ass steak, they say, we'll give it to you for free if you can eat this whole thing. You eat for free. And what they know is that fats trigger your sedentary response. Carbs never do. So you can eat this steak to a point, and once it triggers your sedentary response, if you eat another bite of that, because of the fat in it, if you eat another bite of that steak, you'll throw up. You're like, you know what I'm saying? Hold on. Hey, brother said, Somebody called Brother Said. Just tell him to just wait, because I'm going to be wrapping this up soon. I got to take one of my ox to the, I got to take him. He's dropping his car. Anyway, so somebody called Brother Said, or said, if you're watching, just put it in the comments. I'm going to wrap it up once you're there. Just text me when you're out there. All right. Anyway, steaks and fats trigger your sedentary response. Carbs don't. This is why you can eat a whole damn cake. You can eat carbs forever and it'll never trigger your sedentary response. This is why all these companies, they know they can make more money off you if they selling you stuff that you're just going to eat, and it'll never trigger the I'm full response. When you eat a more ketogenic type diet, a diet more with healthy fats, it's going to trigger that thing where it's like, ugh, I can't eat anymore. The other thing about fats, like what are them things, avocados and all that stuff, the other thing about them is they burn slow. They give you slow, steady, consistent energy. They're not like throwing gasoline on a fire. It's those are your carbs. They're more like burning a log. They're like coals. They just simmer and slowly, for y'all type 2 diabetics, they don't spike it like potatoes do. They just slow burning. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's see what else we got. Hey, Brother Willie, if you watching, if any of y'all watching, just call Said and let them know to wait. I'm gonna wrap it up. All right, spiritual health. You got to deal with the spiritual aspect. A lot of people. This is the other reason why a lot of women are overweight. A lot of women, because our women are, and men too. You account this with men too. A lot of it ties into. Like I said, 90% of them have been raped or molested by the time they're 19 or whatever. A lot of that ties in. There's a lot of spiritual stuff that needs to be worked through in deliverance and stuff like that. I know a lot of people will overeat. A lot of women will overeat because they don't want to be sexy. You know what I'm saying? They feel like that's a lot of them, because it gives them whatever you call that thing, where they overeat because it soothes them. You got to deal with all this stuff. Judgment starts with the house of Israel. This ain't this thing where you just sit in church or sit wherever the hell you at and get amped up emotionally. And then, I'm walking in the word because I feel like, no, you got to get down and really walk this thing out. Spiritual combat style. Look at my numbers. Folks don't want to hear this. They do not want to give up their God. Food. They worship it. Food is a God in America. That's why there's something on every daggone corner. And we telling you to start growing it. Brother Tony, he's a member here, Straitway, Florida, brother in his 50s, okay? And is in better shape than most people in their 20s, okay? Pastor Dow, in his 50s. For the life of me, I see, like, Pastor Dow's in his 50s. You ain't got no excuses. Like, cause he's a slap in the face of me. I'm like, yo, I gotta get myself. I ain't got no excuses. Cause this man in his 50s looked like somebody in his 20s. There's no excuse. And look, folks, you call me a prophet, you call me a pain in the ass, you call me whatever you wanna. You can hit the unsubscribe button, but I ain't gonna hold back. If it's right, I'm gonna be pushing it. Our people are out of shape. They're unhealthy. They gotta get their asses in shape. That is why you are seeing news articles like what I'm putting up here. Okay? Now, look, he judging the world. Now, you see the judgment coming upon the world. They talking about dumping another. They're going to pump trillions into this economy till it jump start. Because they're dropping another trillion on this thing. Okay? They're going to do it. But it's their judgment. It's going down. He getting ready to judge these nations. But he going to judge you too. Ooh, let me show y'all something, man. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm going to show you book that says what I just said. So you don't think this is thus saith Michael Israel. Let me show you a heavy hitting scripture. And then you will know where I'm coming from. All right? Let me see. It's therefore, this is Jeremiah 30. I think this is the scripture. If not, it's this one in Ezekiel. Jeremiah 30, verse 10. Therefore, fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee. Listen, though I make a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered thee. Okay? He's going to destroy these nations. You see the writing on the wall. But listen what he said. Yet will I not make a full end of thee. So he's not going to end us. But he going to, this thing is wrapping up. Look. But I will correct thee in measure, and I will not leave thee altogether unpunished. I will not leave thee altogether unpunished. I will not leave thee altogether unpunished. Put a 100 up in there if you get what I'm saying. If you understand my point for this lesson today, put a 100 up in there. All right? Put a 100 up in there if you get that. It's not a game, y'all. I mean, me and Koya to the point, I'll do a part 2 on this. I'm going to have to. And get Koya on here to put out some recipes and her mindset, how she whips up these meals, you know. Because that stuff she whipped up last night was great. I didn't even know we had it in the house. She didn't even know we had it in the house. She just walked around and was looking. And then you smell something in the pot that's making you feel better already. And then she sat in front of you like, good night. You know? Y'all get it. Some of y'all get it. Hey, y'all seen the way the numbers went down. The numbers were at 40, now they at 20. Because a lot of people ain't giving up that food because it's a drug. It just tastes so good. Okay? I need to play that Rocky song. There ain't no easy way out. Y'all got to learn to love fighting. The Lord is a man of war. Yahuwah is his name. That's why I like being around and talking and following people like Pastor Dow, Elder Rufus, Brother Gideon, Brother Daniel Meir, Rob Mathis, like dudes who professional warriors. You know what I'm saying? Because being around feminine people, soft, weak, effeminate, excuse-making people, guess what that's going to do? It's contagious, y'all. It's contagious. You know what I'm saying? I like the warriors who follow me, Mikael Gabars, like soldiers. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to strengthen me, you know? So anyway, y'all, it looked like, hey, man, I watched the numbers go down. Hey, I know I'm coming down the middle. But that's what it's about, y'all. I'm going to do a part 2. We're going to get into the spiritual aspect. Because I say this also, you got to be feeling good to begin implementing this stuff, man. You got to feel good, but we got to go plant-based. The plants are the answer, man. I agree, man. We know. We've seen some powerful stuff. Yesterday was very eye-opening with this, we'll call it local foraging, There's some type of name I could put to it, where you just walk outside your house, look at that stuff, and look at the plants that are edible native to where you are at. And that you can find we got dandelions growing all around our house. That's a bitter herb. Ooh, and guess when dandelions blossom? Right around Passover. And Most High made provisions. Hey, guess what dandelions do? I'm telling you, the time they blossom the most is right around Passover. And guess what? That is something that will break up mucus. It's a bitter, Read up on dandelions, on what they do. Study it. All right, anyway. Let me see if I have anything else for y'all. I don't. I'm going to probably be doing a part 2 to this. Y'all pray for me to be efficient and effective today. That's what I need for y'all. If y'all could contribute that to me, that'd be a good contribution. That I get all my work done that I got on my to-do list. We done all got up early. We shaking and moving this morning. Got a lot on the plate. I've already got some tasks accomplished already. So yeah, y'all. But anyway, with that said, I'm going to wrap this up with Straitway, New York, showing they jam session skills. I haven't had a chance. That's something else I'm going to do today. There's a brother, he puts all these jam sessions up, man. Some of the music they make in these jam sessions will blow you away. But I'll be putting that up here a lot more. These Straitway jam sessions. I mean, it's some relaxing music that will help you get work done and stuff like that. But anyway, for now, I'm going to just take you out with this. This was at the Straitway Sukkot in Tennessee. I'm going to put this up here. Y'all enjoy it. And I hope this was a blessing to y'all. Shalom, shalom.